Okay, time to see if I can commentate over this whole CrossFit WOD. Um, and so I came into the gym today. I started with some box jumps, and I was not feeling very springy at all. I did an extra session this week because I had a little free time from work on one of the days. So I came in and I did some box jumps, some deadlifts, and some weighted sprints. And you know, it's not excuses per se, but I'm about to make an excuse, I guess. That was an odd day for me. It was on Thursday. This is on Saturday, so probably legitimately a little bit of fatigue carried over there. Being that that's not normally a day or a training session I'm able to do, or haven't been through the winter anyway. I'd like to up the frequency as we get into the warmer months, but my schedule, over the last few months has been more hectic than it has been in the previous couple of years. So, if I get a chance to get an extra session in, I do. I wish I could more consistently, and your body will acclimate. But anyway, long-winded way to say that I'm coping for today because my jumps weren't there. I started doing front squats after my jumps, and front squats weren't there either. So I ended up just coping with some CrossFit on the day. So this WOD is kind of a modified version of one that they did at I think it was at one of the Rogue events. They did a 405-pound squat for 5, and then 25 box jump overs, and then 4 reps of the squat, 20 box jump overs, 3 reps of the squat, 15 box jump overs, 2 reps of the squat, 10 box jump overs, 1 rep of the squat, and then 5 box jump overs. And it was, like jump on the box and then jump over the other side was 1 rep. I started, I did a little warm up set, and I set the box that I'm jumping on in the middle there so I could do jump overs, but our floor is kind of slick, and those are the plyo boxes, and when when I landed, it slid, and I especially once I started getting fatigue, I wasn't going to have that. So I just put it up against the wall, and I decided to do modify it and do 25 box jumps instead of jump overs. And I'm using 315. With recent transgressions concerning my lower back, I did not want to really do it any heavier. Like I said, I was already feeling not very strong or bouncy on the day anyway, so I definitely scaled this down. This was very much a conditioning exercise for me. I don't do CrossFit anyway. I have my CrossFit supersets and things like that I incorporate in my training, and I do a lot of short interval training. Just in my regular working sets, I will limit rest times quite often. So it's not something I'm unaccustomed to completely, but doing this amount of work for time, as fast as possible, and this extended period, this is kind of, I don't know, would you call it like moderate intensity, steady state, I guess, because it's not low intensity, but it's not hit either. So I guess something of that nature, if you wanted to label it. And I'm wanting to say, like, after the second set of squats and second set of box jumps, I think I ended up doing better and catching a second wind, if you will. And I finished it really strong. Kind of got better as it went on. Don't get me wrong; it was tiring and taxing, of course, because again, this is not something I don't do this, weekly or monthly or anything like that. This more work. I do this amount of work over a session, but this is probably more work, even if it's not as intense in a shorter amount of time than I'm accustomed to. But a lot of it is mindset. You can do more than you think you can do. Your body wants to protect itself and doesn't want you to do things, and you just have to tell your brain to shut the fuck up sometimes and just go. And I think that's why, I got better as this went on. I was more getting into kind of that flow state, if you will, and less thinking other than sitting here counting the box jumps. That's one thing I didn't want to botch, was counting the box jumps. And then I added jump ropes to it. The jump ropes weren't part of the WOD that was done in the Rogue event. But since I modified to box jumps instead of doing the jump overs, I decided to do 50 jump ropes after the box jumps, and they had to be unbroken. Now, a real CrossFitter would probably do double unders, but I'm not doing 50 double unders, broken or unbroken, in the midst of this at all. I am not in that sort of shape. I suck at double unders as is. I've been getting a little bit better with my double unders. I don't know if I'll be posting them on a public video or if they'll just be on my members' videos when I upload the full unedited session. But today, after this workout and in the midst of some of my accessory work, I think I had my best set of double unders yet since I started jumping rope again. Also, I've got a really cheap jump rope. If anybody is this far into the video and has recommendations on like a decent jump rope, I don't need the creme de la creme, but this is the second jump rope I've bought from Walmart. The first one I had broke, and I just bought another one of the same brand. It's like $4, and for right now I'm just buying those cheapies to get back into it. But I think now I'm getting to the point where I'd like to get more consistent with my double unders in particular. So it might be worth it to me to get a decent jump rope. So if anybody has any recommendations, that would be greatly appreciated. If I've got any legit CrossFitters or just jump rope enthusiasts who are watching this, that would be appreciated. Honestly, like 315 isn't a big squat for me. Even these days, it's not like a super duper big squat for me. But like I said, I was feeling not my strongest on the day, so I didn't want to risk the old lower back yeeting itself, especially with all the jumps in the midst of this, even though they're not full max effort jumps or anything. And I was really focused on just my brace and trying to stay as upright as possible. When I'm squatting for max weight, I do let myself lean over a little bit, and I intentionally try to get some hinge into it to get more weight up, because that's the name of the game, is to squat the most weight you can within the rules. Your hip creases, breaking the top of the knee, whatever amount or unamount of forward lean you use is up to you. I don't use a lot, but I do like to use a little bit in there and get that involved. But like I said, I was trying to focus on my brace here on this day and not yeet my back into oblivion. Spoiler alert, I was successful. You're not going to see my back get yeeted in the midst of this. But here, again, as it went on, like I said, I got into that sort of flow state, which is awesome. I love that feeling, where you become sort of mindless, other than, having to count my jumps, because any extra jumps or less amount of jumps would not be great. I think even on my my jump ropes, I counted to like 52 or 53 on some of them, just to make sure I had enough in there, because I didn't want to short myself. And I had considered early on, like just doing 50 jump ropes, whether they were broken or unbroken, but I'm confident enough in myself in jumping rope that I can rattle off 50 unbroken even when I'm fatigued. And you'll see me mess up a couple times. I just messed up a little bit ago there, but it's not anything that was too detrimental, and I was still able to recover and get it done. And you'll see now, I think I'm pushing the weights in there. I'm using that as an excuse to get a little bit of rest. I don't know if I go and get any more chalk during this round or not, or if I just walk back under it. Yeah, I think I'm going to get some more chalk. A little bit of a cope there. I don't know. I didn't get chalk. I went and got a drink of water is what I did. No, chalked my hands, rubbed it on the bar. Trying to get a little bit of extra rest in there. Because again, like I said, I'm not conditioned as a CrossFitter, but it's nice knowing that I can pull something like this, out of my hat on a whim, just because, I went in on the day having plans to do one thing and just it wasn't there, but I still wanted to work hard and push myself and, kind of feel that being on the edge of a threshold, if you will. And even though while it's something that I know was, manageable, it's not something that was easy at all. And it's something that took, quite a bit of effort to get myself honestly pumped up and hyped into. Because I'll tell you what, man, that first round, the box jumps, it's only a 24-inch box, but 25 doesn't sound like too big a number when you're doing, relatively small box jumps. But holy shit, when you when you get up there and then you realize you're going to do 20 and then 15 and then 10 and then 5, still to come, you start thinking like, damn, am I really going to do this? Or am I just going to quit here and, turn off the camera and call it a day and never tell anybody about this? But thankfully I kept going. It's, oftentimes it is early in a workout like this that those decisions are made. And honestly, the more you can train yourself to say yes and get it done, not to be too fucking cliche and philosophical, but it does translate over into real life. And there I am messing up my jump ropes again. But I think I rattled off the 50 the next go. I don't think I ever messed up more than once in a set of jumping rope, so it ended up being not too bad there. And I think this is finishing up the penultimate round. I think all I have left is a single. Yeah, I checked my time. I don't know if I was getting some water here or if I was getting some chalk, maybe both. Coping a little bit again. I think that may be the case. I'll see when I walk back on the screen. This time I'm going to do the last round. I decided I was going to just jump completely over the box and do 5 box jump overs without tapping it or touching it. So yeah, this is going to the last round. I didn't get chalk, I got water. I'm pretty sure I buried and paused this single too, if I'm not mistaken. Catching my breath some more, getting ready for this last round. Honestly, when I got to this point, I knew it was over. Like, I knew I had it in the bag. So that's why I decided to get cute with it and pause this rep and then do the box jump overs because I knew I had it at this point. Yeah, a little pause action there. Getting it ready to go. And I think the first box jump over, I almost yeeted myself maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's not going to look bad on camera, but I know the landing felt awkward. Especially, jello legs at this point, having done all this work already. And then, I was accustomed to landing on the soft plyo box, and now I'm landing on the hard concrete. And I'm wearing Reebok Legacy 3s, my weightlifting shoes. And if you guys don't know, they're a heavy shoe. They're a very heavy shoe. So, these are kind of weighted jumps, if you will, because they weigh a lot more, relatively speaking, than my power lights, which I typically, if I was going to do something like this, I would do them in that. But I made the decision that I already had the lifting shoes on because I was doing front squats. I didn't feel like changing back. And I think at the end of my jump ropes here, I was going to try to do some double unders, but I was fucking gassed, and the double unders didn't want to double under at all. Yeah, I think I got one good double under there, and then I was going to try to do some more, but I failed at every attempt. Like I said, I was gassed at this point, trying to do some extra credit on top of the WOD that I had already designed for myself. And, between my brain being mush at this point, my arms not wanting to arm, my legs not wanting to leg, my feet not wanting to feet, where's the point where I give up? I'm thinking about it right here. I think I give it one more go. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and keep at this, but one more go right here. And then, nope, I knew they were done. Toss that rope. Peace!